Solomon tells us in Proverbs, don't lean on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Don't lean on what you think, but lean on who God is and acknowledge Him. And let Him know that He's the reason that you can make it through. Let Him know that He's the reason that you've accomplished what you accomplished. Let Him know that He's the reason that you are where you are. Let Him know that He's why you have what you have. You say, I don't have a lot this morning, but you came into the auditorium vertical instead of horizontal, and so you've got something to thank Him for. And so thank Him for it this morning and tell Him that, God, I acknowledge You and I am thankful for You in everything. Through every trial, through every mountain, through every storm, also, God, through the valley, also through every joyous situation, every happy situation, every sad situation, every bad time, every depressed time. I got to let you know that I'm acknowledging You, and You put me there for a reason. You put this in my life for a reason, and I acknowledge that it's there. And I can trust in You. No matter what I go through, God's with me. No matter what I'm in, He'll never leave me or forsake me. God is there with us in everything in life. You can thank Him because whenever you call Him, He's there. He's there in your sickness. He's there in your pain. He's there in your heartache. He's there in your heartbreak. He's there when everybody else leaves you. He's there when your love walks out on you. He's there when friends turn their back on you. He's there when people go to heaven and you don't think you can make it through. He's there for a bad doctor's report. He's there for the words you don't want to hear from your doctor. He's there for all of it. Acknowledge Him. Thank Him. If you're up, thank God. If you're going down, thank God. If you're rich, thank God. And if you're broke this morning, thank God. If you've got a lot, thank Him. If you're running on empty, thank Him. If you're breathing air this morning, you better thank Him. We've got to trust Him. We've got to try Him. And we've got to thank Him this morning. Because He's a God that's bigger than everything. I know this morning that some of the things that Solomon shows us in Ecclesiastes are pretty depressing. I know the fickleness of life sometimes can be hard to figure out. I know how fragile life is. Someone we love, one moment is here, and the next instance, a drunk driver or a bad accident, or you get a telephone call that somebody that you never thought would have dropped dead of a heart attack, and now they're gone, and it's fragile. We think about those things, and there's many that sit in the auditorium today. There's widows in the auditorium today that think about the time when there was a husband that sat in the pew by their side. There's many this morning that sit in the pews and they think about, there was a time when there was a mom or a dad that sat by my side. There was a time when they were here with me, and the truth of it is, every year I face Mother's Day, and I have to dread the fact that Mom is already in heaven. Or I face Father's Day, and I try to make it as good as I can for my kid's daddy. But the truth is, it's not really good for me because he's not there. And we go through these things in life, and Solomon doesn't tell us that we have to be joyous about that all the time. There's a time he shows us to grieve. There's a time he shows us where we're supposed to look at it and go, I wish it was that way. But there's also a time when we're supposed to look at it and go, I don't know why it worked out this way. I don't know why the circumstances of my life have gone this way. I don't know why this is the path God put me down. I don't know why God brought this into my life, or I had to go through it, or my family had to go through it. But here I am, and since I'm here, I'll trust You. Why? Because what's the alternative? The trusting in God is all that I have, and so if I'm going to trust Him, then I might as well try Him and find out if I can get a little bit of joy in this, if I can get a little bit of happiness in this, if I can get enough strength just to take the next step that I've got to take. I'll trust Him, I'll try Him, and when I take that step, I'll thank Him. I'm here this morning. I don't know what else to do. You know, there's folks in the pews this morning that you've been through some valleys, trials, and storms in your life. You might have been through some tragedy in your life, but you're here this morning. Why are you here this morning? Trust Him. Try Him. You know what you ought to do this morning? You ought to thank Him. You ought to thank Him for bringing you through. You ought to thank Him for what He's done. I thank Him for the mountains and I thank Him for the valleys. I thank Him for every trial that He's brought me through. Because if I've never had a problem, I would not know that God could solve them. And I would not know what faith in God could do. Through it all, the songwriter said, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I trust God. And through it all, I'll try God. And through it all, I'll thank God. Here's what God's Word says. If you trust Him, if you try Him, if you thank Him, He will direct your path. You say, Brother Jonathan, I don't even feel God anymore. I'm so far from Him. I don't know what His presence feels like. I've never been under it. He doesn't speak to me. He don't convict me. I don't even hear from Him. I feel like there's a barrier of iniquity between me and Him. It has been so long since I've actually spoke to the God of heaven, and I don't know what to do. I need some direction in my life, and need to know, young people need to know which way I ought to go and what door to go through. And here I am at the end of high school years, or here I am in my college years, and I don't know the way. I can tell you the way this morning. Trust Him, try Him, and thank Him. He'll direct your path. He'll show you what you need to be shown. He'll lead you through the way. He'll put a light on it. He'll show you how to get through what you never thought you could get through. Trust Him, try Him, and thank Him this morning. What's the formula for this victorious Christian life? Trust Him, try Him, thank Him. You want to get through a life that is fickle, fragile, fleeting, and futile? You better trust Him. You better try Him. And then you better thank Him, every head bowed and every eye closed. You may be here this morning and you say, Brother Jonathan, I don't know this God that you speak of. I don't know this Jesus that I can put my trust in. You come to this altar this morning, there'll be somebody here that'll take you by the hand, and they'll show you just who He is. You need to be introduced to Him, because if you don't know Him, you will never make it through things in this life that you're going to be faced with. You say, I don't know, things are pretty rosy and looking on the up and up in my life right now. It can change. I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news this morning, but I'm just telling you that life changes in a moment. And the key to the changes of life is to learn how to thank God, how to trust God, and how to try God through those changes. You may be here this morning and you know Him, but you look to me this morning and you say, Brother Jonathan, I know Him. I know who He is, but I've gone through some things that I feel like I should not have had to go through. I've gone through some things in life that seem to be unfair. I would say to you this morning, you need to tell Him you trust Him again. And then once you trust Him, you need to try Him. Get back into the things of God. Try to get close to Him and try to rekindle that relationship with Him. And once He starts to show you your way, you better make sure you thank Him. Let's stand all over the building this morning. That is my prayer. You come and pray if you want to pray. Trust Him, try Him, and thank Him this morning.
What a glory He sheds on our way, while we do His will.
Are you trusting His promises? Are you trusting His prayer? I know. Life can throw some curveballs. I know sometimes it seems like the walls are caving in. You better trust Him. You got to trust Him this morning.